Hi everyone, my name is Zenith and I am back again with another video. And in this video, I'll be explaining you how you can border an image, how you can add a foreground color to the text, how you can give the image as a background and much more. So make sure you stick around today so that you can learn all of the courses which I'll be explaining you today. And without any further delay, let's get into the main content. So right now you can see my web page is empty and I'm going to explain you some really cool facts today which you're going to get happy with it. They are very good facts. I'm not joking, but I have myself have tried these codes and they look quite good. Okay, so today basically our main theme will be about all about images because all of these two codes which I'm going to do right now are going to be based on images. Remember the last time I had made an image widen and make its height longer in my previous courses? If you haven't viewed it, you can go and view it later on. So today I'll be explaining how you can do much more of these things with an image. So let us, for example, first of all get a recap of how you can add an image. For adding an image, you need to just put in one tag. This tag does not has a closing tag, and it is the image source. Now in this image source, you're going to put between the quotation marks the source of the image. Make sure you have downloaded the image first. That's an important rule. Download the image and then you have to check its source file, whether you have kept it in a folder, and then you have to put its file in this. It's better if you first give it a name. Like for example, last time the name it had given to my image was a robot. And then you have to also identify its file type. It could be a JPG, it could be a JPEG, it could also be a PNG. So you have to make sure these codes are correct for the image to appear. So let us now see how you can add an image. My image was robot.jpg. I'm going to save it and I'm going to check. The image is going to surely appear. And yes, this image appeared. And last time I had also viewed this image. So now I'm going to show you how you can add a little bit of things on this image. So the first thing we are going to now see today, and it will be how you can border an image. That's very easy. For that, you just need to type in extra information in the opening tag, and it will be border equals to, and then you have to type in the number. It could be 1, 2, 3, 4, any number. So I'll go with 5. Now this is the code which you are actually learning right now. Border equals to 5 or any. The number should be any number. And for this one, it's not really important for you to put the quotation marks as we had done for the previous one. Now we're going to check. And yes, our image got bordered. And yes, you can also thicken this. One is for the thinnest border, and yes, there is actually no limit. You can make it as much thicker as you want. For example, if I take 20, make sure you don't give it a very thick border. It would also quite look weird. So look, I gave it this image border of size 20, so it got very thick. It became very thick. So here's that one point. So to the new code which we'll be learning today is how you can add this image as a background. I had last time showed you how you can add the background as a color. So first let us view that. So let us see how I added the color behind of my web page. It's really good if you add these colors or these images at the background of a web page. It gives it a good style and it really attracts much of the users. So for the color which I had shown you in my previous courses was body background equals to, and then as I showed you, there are two ways. Either you can type in the hexadecimal code which starts with it should always start with a hashtag so that the web browser knows that this is a hexadecimal code, and then you type in your color code. By the way, you can find these color codes anywhere. It could be in your ICT book, it could be on the net, and there are a bunch of them actually. So here's the way. Body BG color. BG stands for background. And here my background became pink. Definitely the image did not turn pink because the image by default was white and you can't turn it into a pink color. So now let us see, and I would also explain you that you can directly even put the color. For example, if you put the color blue, it will still work. So yes, there are two ways to change the color of the background, either by using the hexadecimal color code or either by specifically typing in the color. So now we'll be seeing how you can add an image as a background. So first of all, let me show you how you can add this robot.jpg image as a background. For that, you're going to simply choose body background this time. No color, because the image will not be a color. And over here you're going to type your image source. It looks like as if it's a combination of this image source and a combination of this code, the body background. So over here you're going to put the exact same source file which you were using in the image source. Once you have done that, you head over to save it and you view your web page, and your web page turned as a background. Oh yes, one more thing. Why this image is still here? Because this image is separate and this background is separate. And here's another thing, how the web browser interacts with your image. It's in this way that it uses your image and it fills the whole panel of the web page to its full, and it can also then repeat these images. As you are seeing, there are many robot images over here. That's because it's trying to fill the whole web page. So yes, that's one way. But how you want to create a simple smooth colored background, like for example a techno background with one simple smooth color? So for that one, go to Google and then get a good image, and it should be quite big, not too much big. It should be like mostly you have seen the images in the horizontal, the landscape form. Those type of images are the one which basically fit. So first of all, let me introduce you this image. First of all, let me show you what will happen if I will remove this image. Then the web page will look much uniform. Now this image should get removed, but actually I forgot to remove the image source. Until you do not remove the image source tag, the border will always stay there, indicating that you have not removed the code. Once you completely wipe out this code, the background, that border will disappear. And yes, it disappeared, and you can now see the uniform shape of the robots filling the whole web page. Now how you want to give it a good web page background? Here I have an image for you, and I'm going to show you that again. For now, let me remove this robot image, this robot background, and let me introduce you first this image. It's a new technological image which I had just recently downloaded, and for me it personally looks quite amazing. And as I had said, it will not always be JPG, it could be also JPEG. So make sure you're typing in the correct file type. And now I've saved it, and now I will check it, and I've received this image. As I told you, most of the image when you see in Google in the images tab, you might find most of them in this landscape form, and these images are the ones which I personally like. Now here's the thing, if you want to put this as a background, then it should be a bit dark, or it could be a bit light. Preferred it should be a bit light, because if it will be dark, your text won't be seen. And that's another thing which I'll be explaining you today, how you can give the text a color while using the background image. So first of all, let me remove the border. I've removed the border, and now I'm going to show you how it looks without the border. And yes, it looks like this. It's just a technological image, and that's it. Now how you can put this image in the background is by simply copying this whole source and simply paste it in the body background code. It's that easy. Once you have done with that, you're going to save it, and you're going to see this uniform file. Yes, you're going to see some disruption and distortions of the image. That's because, as I told you previously, the web page will try to cover the whole panel as much as possible, but still it looks quite visible. Now here's the downside to this image. You can see this image is quite dark, so hence when I try to type something, when I try to type information, you're going to see that my information won't be visible, as it will be black, and the image is also going more in contrast to black color. So let us say I'm going to write any sentence. I'm going to save it, and now you won't be able to see the text, because it is quite too dark. Even I can't see the text. That's why to fix this mistake, you are going to definitely change the color of the text. Now here's the thing, by changing the color of the text, there is one way, And that is by changing the background of it. If you change the background of it, its background will get changed, but its actual, like, the letters and their color won't get changed, but their background, the background space which they are occupying, that will get changed. So if you don't want that, then here's another way. Go back to this body background, go back to this body tag and add in it text equals to, and then to put in it the color. As I had said, you can use a hexadecimal color code, which I'm just going to use right now. And yes, now my text color is also going to get changed. So now, as you can see, my text color has changed to a pink color, and now it's also quite much visible. Yes, that's one way, and that's the hexadecimal color code. The other way is by simply tapping in the color. If you're using a dark image, then it's really preferred if you take the color white, because it stands out against black color. Now, if you check, my white color is standing out against the image, and quite much looks good. So as you can see, why my texture is appearing down, because this is still over here. Once I remove this and go back, you're going to see that my text is going to now appear above, and yes, it appeared above. And I am really informing you, it's better that you take the color white for a darker background. So yes, that's one tip for you. It's a really important tip. Now now I'd also shown you what would happen to an image if you don't type in the correct file type. So first of all, let me show you what happens when you don't type in the correct file type. First of all, let me remove the background. Okay, so let's for example see, this is my image source technology.jpg. I'm going to save it and I'm going to view it in simple form. So it looks like this. But what would happen if the web browser is for a certain reason unable to like view your image? This is what it will happen. The thing which will happen to it, the reason why it will happen, because maybe you have mistyped JPEG by JPG, or you have even mistyped the spelling, its name. So right now I'm going to view how you can give it a more meaning. Like if the user is not able to see your image, you would still understand that this image is about this topic. Yes, I'm going to view that right now. So this is how the image will look. It will look with the little wallpaper over here, the little paper sign with the image that this image is unable to show. And if you go in the view page source, you can still see the link over here. But once you click on the link, to take you over here, it will say file not found. Yes, definitely you have not typed in the correct source type or the file type. And even one more tip, when you're using border on the image, the border is still visible. Like for example, if I use the border attribute on this image, the border is yet visible. Like the border will be still surrounding it. Like look, the border is now surrounding that little paper. Now you want to give the user information that just in case that the image is unable to be shown by the web browser, what would the user then look at instead of the image? So for that, you are going to type in this attribute in the image source, alt, which stands out for alternative. So what would happen in the alternate if the image won't be able to show up in the web browser? Won't be able to show up in the web browser, and you're going to type in the alt attribute, and in that you're going to type in the text for the information. Like for example, my image was about technology, so I will write over here about the image, just one sentence or any long sentence you would want to write, so that the user would get informed like what is the image about. Now I'm going to show you how it works. So once you have typed in this code, you're going to save it. Oh yes, one more thing. Do not forget the quotation marks. Sometimes they are not used, and sometimes they are really used. But for this one, you need to use the quotation marks. Going to head over to save it, and now you're going to check, and this text appeared. this image is about technology. Like now it's explaining the user that the image is not there, but still the user will understand that this image is about technology. And yes, when you even border it, the border will now surround the text as well as the paper image which I just explained. And that you can do it as easily by just adding in the border attribute. Okay, so this code looks very small, but by when I small the size, it looks this much. This much is the long code. First of all, it will be the image source, the technology.jpg. Then it will be the alternative show up, which will show instead of the image in case the web browser is not able to view the image. And this is the border. So we're going to save it, and this whole thing will be bordered. And once the thing is that this alternative will only work if the image is unable to be viewed. Like for example, if I now retype in the correct form and the correct source type of the image, this alt will disappear. Why? Because it will only show up to the user if the image is unable to show up as an alternative. So you're going to view it, and now look, the border will definitely be there, but that alternative sentence it has wiped out now. So well, yes, right now you learned how you can add this, how you can add the color to this, how you can add this image as a background, how you can color the font at the foreground, how you can make an image bordered, and how would you show up the alternate of an image if it won't able to like show up in a web browser for a certain reason. For example, I'm mistyping in the code. So well, yeah, this was all I had to explain for you today, and do not forget to subscribe to my channel so that you can view more information about my channel and more videos about my channel at time. And I'll be soon posting more videos like these, so stay tuned and I will see you in another video. Bye.